Hi, I'm Mr. Crompton, and today we're going to talk about the router. The router that we have right here is actually attached to a table. There are several different types of routers from trim routers, which are very small and compact and used for trim pieces, to plunge routers, which are slightly different in that you can push them down into a material, lock them into place, and then cut the inside of something out. Or this is a standard traditional router. It is attached to a table. Basically what this machine is used for is putting decorative edges on a piece of wood. So if you look closely here, you'll see that this particular router has a roundover bit in it. And what a roundover bit will do is take a 90-degree corner on a piece of wood and it will round it over. So your different parts of the machine right here, this one's a fairly simple machine. The router is actually underneath of the table. The plug for the router runs to a separate on-off switch, which is then plugged into the wall, allowing you to turn the machine on and off on the table itself instead of going underneath and turning the machine on the router. This router, when you turn it on, you're going to take the piece of wood, you're going to put it on the table, slide it up against the fence, and hold it firmly, and then slowly guide the work into the blade, allowing the blade to cut through the material. If you were going to use the same router in your hand, you're going to want to make sure that you clamp that material down very tightly. If you try to use the router and the material is not clamped well enough, you don't know where that material is going to move, you don't know if it's going to go flying away, and it might cause some sort of damage. So the different types of router bits that you could have, there's a ton of different ones, and I'll just show you a few. This right here would be a rabbet bit. That is used for cutting a notch that is square out of the edge of a piece of wood, allowing two pieces of wood to overlap. This is a cove bit. The cove will actually do the opposite of a roundover bit and cut a cove out of your piece of wood. This is what's called a chamfer bit. It will cut an angle, and then there's several different angles that you can choose from for your bits. This will cut an angle into your piece of wood, and this one is actually called a Roman ogee bit, and that will cut a decorative edge into your wood that you're trying to cut. So the parts of the machine. This is your table. The router is underneath. This is the fence. And that is about it as far as the machine itself goes. To turn this machine on, you are going to turn the on switch to on right here. You're going to lay your material up against the fence and you're going to guide it through. And so that looks like this. You'll notice that when I use this machine right here, I moved from my right to my left. If you try to move from your left to your right, it will actually attempt to throw the material. The blade doesn't like to go that way. It has to do with the direction of the spinning blade. So other than that, you just want to make sure that you keep your fingers away from the machine itself and that the bit itself is kind of covered by the guard on the back and the table to help guide the wood into the machine.